Hi guys, how y'all doing tonight? Do not adjust your television sets. This is not Look Around Florida. I'm here helping out the SCV chat crew. Moose has a family matter he's taking care of, and he won't be with us tonight. So I'm here helping out. We got some great gentlemen in the background. We got JC Hanna and Charles Lauret from the Army of Trans-Mississippi. They're in the background right now. We're waiting to the chat to start populating. Then we'll bring them up. So, evening. Hope y'all are doing well tonight. And like I said, do not adjust your television. Hey, Linda. Hey, Mr. Kennedy. Hey, Chuck. Hey, Jack. How you been, buddy? So, with further ado, we're going to bring up our guest speakers for tonight. Army Trans-Mississippi Commander and Councilman. How y'all doing tonight?
Evening, everybody.
Evening.
So what you guys been up to lately?
Trying to stay out of the heat right now, son. It's 100 degrees every day down here.
I believe it. I know the feeling.
Multiple days of 100+ temperatures. Yesterday we got a little break. It was 97 here in South Central Louisiana, and we actually were 65 degrees this morning. So that was nice, but it's not lasting. So.
Yep. I know how you feel, and especially being all the way down here in Southwest Florida myself. The cool thing is the python hunts are going on right now down here.
Oh yeah, in the swamps, all the snakes that get let loose down there.
Get let loose, or goes back to Hurricane Andrew, the snake farms, all that stuff. So where do they end up? In the glades.
Yeah, that should be a fun hunt.
Oh yeah, I went down there the other night just to see the meteor shower. And yeah, I mean, people are all over the place with spotlights trying to get that 20-footer. Alrighty. Hey guys, how's everybody doing tonight? Glad to see all of you. So I know I got some pictures and stuff that you guys wanted to talk about. Mr. Hanna, if you wanted to start off.
Well, I was going to let Charles start off
Okay.
speaking about our symposium that we just had last Saturday on the 12th.
Oh, I thought that was going to be your talk. Mine was about our monument.
Well, I'm going to give you two. I'll fill in on what you might not remember from the symposium because I saw you snoozing over there.
Well, we had our ATM recruit and retention and heritage operations and also headquarters operations symposium up in Texarkana, hosted by the Red Diamond Camp this past weekend, and had a great turnout. A lot of good things were discussed. Commander-in-Chief Jason Boshears was there. Eric Prevetti, the membership coordinator, and also Donnie and Ron Kennedy were there as speakers. And so we got a lot accomplished. It was a good day. It was good to see a lot of compatriots from around the ATM. I think our farthest traveler was we had the Arizona Division Commander Ed Carnes joined us out there all the way from Arizona. So it was a pretty good day.
Cool.
It's a good way to spend a hot day. Yes.
We were fortunate to have. I would just say we had it at the local Elks chapter building, and it was a nice facility, and we were real fortunate to have been able to use it there. So it had a really good a lunch as well, a catered lunch. So the Red Diamond Camp really did a great job of hosting our symposium.
Cool. Mr. Kennedy, yeah, that was one of the 3 flags during the war from Florida. Sorry.
Oh, the one behind you?
Yes, sir.
Oh, very good. That red, white, and blue stripes. That almost looks like our Louisiana independent Louisiana flag.
Yeah. Yeah, during the war.
Same sequence.
Yeah, during the war, Florida did 3 flags, but never really abducted them into the state of Florida. Don't know what they were thinking. We got quite a bit of people. Hey, Ryan. Yeah, you're right, Ryan. That's the Florida Secession's flag. Alrighty. Charles, I know you sent some pictures in. Did you want to talk about them?
Yeah, we can do that. It's in the ATM, and but it's more specifically about my camp and the town that we're and the parish or the county that we're located in. But we've been fighting our own monument battle, and that pelican that you see there is actually one of the most unique monuments to Confederate dead that you'll find anywhere. There is no general on top of the statue. There's no soldier statue. It's actually our state bird and the pelican with its babies. But that's a picture there, a close up. I think I want to say it's about 15 feet off the ground. During some assessments we've been doing, we were able to get up there and take a direct shot of it. So, but that's on top of our monument. But just to kind of talk a little bit about what we've got going on. So in April of last year, or March of last year, a local citizen, we might as well call him a local politician, decided that he had an issue with our Confederate monument on the courthouse square there in Opelousas, Louisiana, and brought it to the attention of our parish council. Or I said, for those that aren't familiar, we're parishes in Louisiana, not counties. And we have what's called a parish government and parish council. And so it was brought to their attention, and that this certain individual and just a couple of other ones decided that it was time for our monument to go, and told several, gave a lot of what's the code word here lately, misinformation, disinformation about why the monument was erected, and what it stood for, and sadly, they rushed it pretty fast, at not really even giving us an opportunity. We did speak out against moving it, but there really wasn't any time to do any kind of grassroots campaign to try to get the local citizens involved in trying to protect the monument. So within a month, in April last year, the parish council voted to remove the monument. Fortunately, the only good thing that came out of their vote was that they voted to give it to the Sons of Confederate Veterans. And so our local camps stepped up and accepted the monument and started looking for a place to move it. And that was, and honestly, when that first came up, it was the parish was going to pay for it. We didn't accept it with any intention on having to move it or pay any kind of money to do so. The parish actually had made arrangements to have somebody move it. We found a place for it at Camp Moore in Tangipahoa, Louisiana. Camp Moore is a still open. It's got a museum and was actually a training camp during the war. And the Camp Moore Association graciously accepted and offered to a home for our monument. So we quickly acted, raised donations to put a concrete base to move it. Well, when it finally came time to move it, after several months, and you'll realize here shortly that the time that dragged on getting the base put down and then getting the mover to move it actually played in our hand. So we raised money to put a concrete base there, and when it came time for the parish to move it, we found out that the person they had to move it was not a professional at all. I'm not digging him at all or his company, but honestly, he admitted to us the day it came to time to move it, he didn't know what he was doing, and couldn't guarantee that he wouldn't destroy or damage the monument greatly by moving it. So we had an attorney working for us, and he basically put a cease and desist unless you can guarantee its safety. So that kind of put the stop. That was back in January. So basically, in the meantime, not long after that, our lawyer found a marble company expert in Georgia, and that's actually where the marble is. And you can show a couple more pictures of the monument if you have them.
Yeah.
But that's Georgia marble, and so we hired. Our attorney flew this expert out to Opelousas, and he came and made an assessment, and he said that our monument is actually 41 separate pieces. And he said that he could move it, but boy, we realized from talking to him that it was going to be a lot more than what the parish government even anticipated. And he worked up an estimate and basically said it would cost approximately $60,000 for him to move the monument. So by this time, the parish started balking at first why the monument hadn't been moved, and started balking at the fact that basically saying they weren't going to pay for it. So now we got into a situation where, okay, well, who's going to pay for it? And during this time, one of our camp members started doing research and found some minutes of what then was called the police jury, with the predecessor of the parish council. We actually found in 1910 where the parish or the police jury voted to give that square that you see the monument sits on to the United Confederate Veterans. So it's our contention that the parish doesn't even own the property that it sits on. So this was brought to the attention of the council. And of course, there's concerns that we would end up having to go to court. And knowing funds are tight, we're trying to find a way that we can keep the monument there without anybody having to pay any kind of money to move it, or trying to litigate in court actually who owns the property and this and that. So that kind of brings us where we are today. Matter of fact, they had a council meeting. Sorry about my dog barking. We had there was a parish council meeting last night, and the parish council decided that they wanted to form a committee to, instead of no longer use the word to decide the removal of the monument or reassess where the monument might go or who's going to move it, to the fate of the monument. So we're thinking that as long as we have a seat at the table, which we most certainly should, we're going to with some kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Just some kind of deal where both sides can be happy with something that'll keep the monument there. And that's about as far as I can go, because now we're in we're going to I think somebody they picked a chairperson to decide who's going to be on the committee, and so until that's done, we're not going to that's about all I can go into, because we definitely want to go into it with an open mind, and hopefully we'll come out with a way that's amicable, that the monument can stay there. So that's kind of where we stand. It's been an interesting fight, but as I said, the fact that it was the fact that the moving of it was long and drawn out got us to where we are, where we actually now have the police jury reconsidering the vote that they made last April to move it, and then now working on a solution that both sides can agree on, that'll keep the monument there at the parish courthouse square. So our own little heritage fight down here in Opelousas, Louisiana, and again, that's my camp is the Brigadier General J.J. Alfred A. Mouton Camp, number 778, and so it's been an interesting fight, and it's about to get even more interesting, and we'll see how open the parish is to keeping it there. So just thought I'd kind of share that as a local heritage fight that we've got going on in my camp and in our town.
Well, that picture is the first time I've seen the monument. It's a very beautiful monument.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they're just
we make a point to say there's nothing scary about that monument. I mean, it's there's no intimidating soldier with a musket up there. That's a mother pelican feeding her babies up there. And so definitely it's a very, very unique one. It was a matter of fact, I don't know if anybody could read the engraving, but it was dedicated by the Louisiana Division of the United Daughters of the Confederacy. I mean, hold that picture up right there. And you can also see that because matter of fact, they tried to get this thing put up before World War I broke out, in the early 19-teens. And, through those early years of the 19s, they were raising money, and then World War I broke out. So it put a stop to any fundraising, any plans to put the monument up in 1920. And after after World War I ended, they worked earnestly to get back the project back on track. And in doing so, they actually honored the veterans of World War I, as you can see, the principles of our forefathers, meaning our Confederate veterans and also our Revolutionary War veterans and the heroes have been great. And those things that were consummated by our young heroes in 17 to 19. So, so it's, that's one thing we kind of try to stress is like, it's not just a monument to Confederates. It's also a monument to our veterans of World War I. So definitely unique. But again, I was saying it was put up by the United Daughters of the Confederacy, the Louisiana Division. And at that time, it was actually the John B. Gordon chapter was the local UDC chapter there in St. Landry Parish. So.
Cool.
Yeah, we put a bunch of, I think some of the pictures with the flowers that you see was something that the camp did immediately after the vote was taken to remove it. We bought up a whole bunch of flowers. I think we bought up a bunch of flowers at a local florist and laid them on the base of the monument as kind of a way to show our, that no, we still care about the men that this monument represents, and it's a basically a headstone, especially for those boys who never made it home. And we've been having our camp was formed in 2000, and we've held an annual Confederate Memorial Day ceremony there in early June every year since then. So thanks for putting the pictures up.
Not a problem. I tried to keep the pictures going with how you were talking.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Any news coming out of the Trans-Mississippi?
Yes, sir. We got a national event planned for next year. It's going to be on April 6th and located at the Mansfield State Historical Park, which is where the Battle of Mansfield was actually fought on April the 8th. So we're having it as close as we can get it to that date. And we will be commemorating the 160th anniversary of the last major Confederate victory of the war. And it's also the 125th anniversary of the Louisiana Division. And as I said, this will be on April the 6th. It's not going to be any reenacting or anything like that. We're going to have 4 speakers. The first one will be Scott Dearman, who just recently retired after 30 years with the state park system, of which he spent most of it, to my knowledge, there at Mansfield. And he will be speaking on the Battle of Mansfield. And so I can't think of anybody that knows more about that than he does. And our second speaker will be Charles Lauret, who will be speaking on General Mouton, who gave his life at the Battle of Mansfield. We will also have Dr. John Goddard speaking, and he will be speaking on the military career of Richard Taylor. And then we'll be brought up by our fourth and final speaker, which will be Chuck McMichael, who will be speaking on why these parks are important and should be preserved and honored for history. And anybody that's planning on going, there's only 4 motels located in Mansfield. The 3 named ones are Super 8, a Comfort Inn and Suites, and Best Western. And then there's one privately owned. So if you do not grab one of those motel rooms, the nearest motels are going to be at the Natchitoches exit off of I-49 or in Shreveport. Either one will only take you between 30 or 35 minutes to get down to Mansfield. And the event would be running from 10 to 3. So there will be 2 parking places in Mansfield. They will be protected by sheriff's deputies. We'd like for everybody to park their vehicles there and then ride the bus out to Mansfield, which only, excuse my sinuses are killing me, only a short distance out of town. And you can leave at any time. They will be continuously running. Your vehicles will be protected by the sheriff's department, and we'll have a couple of deputies also at the park and a couple of food vendors. Now we're asking that everybody that does come bring their own lawn chair and maybe a little small ice chest with some water or any other drinks in it that you may want. And we're going to have some covers put up to help protect people from the direct sun and any chance of any showers coming up. And there'll be a couple of food vendors back in the rear of it. And it's a lot of it is still in the planning stages right now, but that's the pretty well the gist of it at this time. I just got permission from the state of Louisiana to have this event held there this past Monday. So that's the main news on it at this time. And so I would like for everyone to show up when you get off the bus. You will be going into the park office. There is a $4 fee for everyone to go in, unless you're over the age of 62. Then you get in for free. But I would like everybody, just like myself, that's over that age, to consider paying anyway, because this money is going directly to the park to help keep them open. They're at this time only open 4 days a week, and we're trying to help keep them from being shut down any more days than that, because all of our parks here in Louisiana are in danger of closing even more in the future. So that's, I don't think $4 is too much when you know it's going directly to the park. It includes your admission to the museum and all these talented speakers that we will be having entertaining you there. And in between the speakers, we're going to have a band called the Pine Knots. It's put on by a SCV camp out of the Sabine Rifles. And they are really a good band, and everybody will enjoy the music. So I'm going to encourage everybody to please show up. The more they show up, the better it's going to help the park. And you will be getting more updates in the near future.
Cool.
Yeah, somebody questioned, wanting to know or to point out about where Mansfield is. It's roughly an hour south of Shreveport, off of Interstate 49 and a state highway. But generally, it's about an hour south of Shreveport.
Well, I got there the other day. Once I got out of Bossier City across that Jimmy Davis Bridge, I got down there in 35 minutes.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So it's that close.
Yeah, it's a lot. I was told by the James Cryer that it's only about a 30-minute drive if you're in a motel in Natchitoches going in the back way through Pleasant Hill. So really, it's not that far at all. But there's a lot of motels available there in Natchitoches and in South Shreveport also.
And JC, this is all part of the Commander-in-Chief's hope that, or goal to have an event in each army, right?
Yes, he told each army that he wanted to start having a meeting in each army, a national event rather, instead of everybody going to Stone Mountain every year. And so this is where I picked it for our first one, because of the fact that Mansfield is celebrating its 160th anniversary, and this is an excellent way to commemorate it. And Brian McClure is working on maybe a badge or challenge coin, whichever he decides to go with, maybe even both. It's going to be very beautiful. I've already seen a type that he's come out with. And by the way, I did have one man ask me if he could park on the camp, excuse me. And the answer to that is no. The only way you can camp on the state park grounds is if there is a camp ranger on duty, and they will not be any there that night. So the camping is out of the question. You're going to have to either get you a motel and drive in, or if you live close enough, just drive in.
Okay.
And I'd kind of like to go back to the symposium a little bit if I can. Jason was our first speaker, and what he wanted to speak on, he told us the two main questions that he is always asked by everybody is what's going on with the Arlington Reconciliation Monument with our lawsuit, and also when we're going to be putting that monument up over Nathan Forrest's grave. He said at this time, there was another group, I believe, out of Florida that also filed suit on their own. And we did not join in with them nor them with us. They filed their own separate suit. They filed through Washington, D.C. We filed ours through Virginia. Well, the judge decided that to combine the two of us and put our suit now in Washington, D.C. also with this other organization, which I do not even know at this time that would they have standing or not, but we definitely do have standing on ours. So now that's a wait and see deal. We know how the courts go, and I don't want him to go any further on that. But and he said as far as the monument goes, the whole thing is going to cost $150,000 to redo the monument and that pedestal exactly like it was in Memphis. And we're not going to go into debt on it because we're still trying to pay off that museum. So it will not be going up until we get the remainder of the money. And we've already got a little over half of it. So hopefully it'll be sometime next year. And then, of course, we had both the Kennedy brothers speak, and I'm sure everybody in the Confederation has heard those two gentlemen speak, so you know pretty much what they talked about. But Eric Praviti was last, and he did a slide show on how to get into different forms and all, which he had the whole afternoon, and everybody really got into that because he showed things like how you can change your address on your own without having to contact anybody at Elm Springs. So he put on a very good show. And then when it was over with, we had 4 of our members make their nominations that they are notification, that they are running for national office. John McCammon, who is the past Texas Division Commander, announced that he is going to be running for Army Commander. And Chuck McMichael announced that he is going to be running for ATM Councilman. And then the 2 Kennedy brothers, Ron announced that he is running for Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief, and Donnie is running for Commander-in-Chief. So we're going to have the 2 twins up there at the top of our organization. And that announcement was made by everybody. And I told them I'd also bring it up here on this chat. And the only other thing that I have that's going on is we're having a large flag. It's going to be a 20 by 20 foot Confederate battle flag placed up on Interstate 30 at exit 99. They were trying to have it up by the time of the national reunion, but bureaucratic red tape in the clerk of court's office slowed it down, and they should have it up within a month or so. And that's pretty much everything that's going on now that's not older news. Now, we did have one big victory recently up in Bentonville, Arkansas. Right in the center of town, there was a Confederate monument, a beautiful monument, and it was set in had a waterfall, water all the way around it, real beautiful. But it was just right across from the Walmart Museum, which is the 5 and 10 store where Sam Walton started his first business up. And they did not want our monument right across from their business. So they went to the UDC and asked those ladies, would they be willing to move the monument? And they said, only if you would pay for us a new location for it. Well, on the Monday prior to our national reunion, I got word that monument had been taken down, had been cleaned and all, and the pedestal and all had been redone, also in a fall, it's just like it was, only it's even more beautiful. And the monument has been placed back up there, and now they're trying to finish a beautiful park setting for it to be in. So it's still in the city limits of Bentonville, and it's the first monument that was on the register of historical places to ever be moved and not lose that designation. They still have it. And the Waltons will end up paying about $150,000 for them moving it for just a very short distance from where it was at. So that was a big victory for the UDC ladies. And sometime later this year or early next year, I hope to be able to attend the unveiling of it when they have their ceremony. But as of right now, that's all the news I really have. Unless we got something else you want to bring up, or Charles has anything else.
No, that's it. I just want to encourage everybody out there, but especially ATM commanders on whatever level to reach out to the SCV chat, SCV Youth Outreach at Gmail, I think it is.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it.
Yeah, that's it. scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com. Be sure to take advantage of the SCV chat to let the entire Confederation know what you've got going on in your local areas, and also the armies will have their own show, and we want to be able to talk about and share what it is going on in the ATM. But again, at scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com, send that in, and they'll be glad to share whatever activities you have going on. So I just want to encourage everybody to do that.
Ready? Anybody? Oh, thank you, Commander.
That sounded like one of the Kennedys.
What? Oh.
There he is.
Exactly, Walter. Exactly. So, guys, while we're on the subject about monuments, you guys are fighting for yours. I just posted on SCV chat just this week. Camp 1209 out of Jacksonville are in a fight for theirs. The city council all voted to give the monument back to the family, and they're delaying it for some reason. So, Division Commander Hart asked if you could go check out that article that I posted on SCV chat. The mayor's email address is there. Please check that out and help out Camp 1209 in Jacksonville, Florida.
Definitely.
Well, we have these two fine gentlemen here. Does anybody have any questions for them? Feel free to ask.
Let me get back on the picture. Hold on. Fella.
Okay.
Fella. I've lost it. I've lost the picture. I still have the voice. I've lost the picture. No input signal.
You lost him?
Yeah, just the
Oh,
picture.
Yeah, we're able to see. We're able to see
Yeah, we
him.
can see you, JC.
Yep.
You can? There
Yeah.
I am. There I am.
That's all right, sir. All righty. Since we got JC and Charles here, feel free to ask questions, guys. They're not shy. If they were shy, they wouldn't be on.
Yeah, I've avoided you as long as I could.
Alrighty. Nothing has hit. Whoop, wait. Jack DuPont is asking Mr. Lauret, are you running for any other positions?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Yeah, we already poured the base for the monument at Camp Moore, and but we've already talked to Camp Moore about the fact that there's a possibility that we might not have to move it there, and Camp Moore supports any effort to keep the monument where it truly belongs, and that base may very well be used for something else by the Camp Moore folks. So, but it's there if we need it. And again, the Mouton Camp appreciates the donations that were made. And said we were acting in good faith to try to find a place to move it. We put the concrete base there, and then things developed as they did, and so here we are. But again, if we don't end up having to move the monument there, we'll just donate it to Camp Moore, and I'm sure they'll find they'll be able to maybe find a use for it.
Did you see that one from Mr. Kennedy? Where is Camp Moore?
Yeah, Camp Moore's located about an hour northwest of northeast of Baton Rouge. In the Piney Woods above Lake Pontchartrain, off of I-55, just not too far south of the Mississippi line.
All right, keep the questions coming, guys and girls. I know I saw a few ladies.
I guess we were very thorough.
Evidently so, sir. Alrighty. 60 miles south of McCum. Okay. Well, no more questions or anything. So, Jack, you see that, Charles?
No. Well, unfortunately, when the monument was voted to be removed, the UDC was present and actually spoke to support the monument. But once the decision was made to remove the monument, the UDC really kind of ceded any kind of responsibility or ownership of the monument to the Sons. And so that's why, the Mouton Camp Sons of Confederate Veterans officially accepted the monument from the parish. Chuck McMichael said that, yep, September 16th will be the Louisiana Division Fall Assembly. So, yeah, that's coming up in just in a month. So, and that'll be at Fort Bulow State Park.
That's been canceled.
Oh, it's been canceled?
That house where they've had the meeting held at has been, the park manager has moved into it. So
okay.
Brian is now looking at trying to get it at a restaurant somewhere there in Alexandria.
Okay. Wasn't aware of that.
It just happened today.
Okay.
I guess Richard was just gonna let us show up and then say surprise.
Yeah, Commander in Chief, you definitely need to visit Camp Moore. It's a great museum they have there, run by volunteers, and a very well kept property. And the Confederate cemetery in the back is just really solid as well, with a beautiful Confederate monument on a mound. So that's where my third great grandfather trained there before heading off to Virginia with the 6th Louisiana. So yeah, it's definitely, it used to be, Camp Moore used to be a state-owned park, and budget cuts, I think in the excuse me, in the early 80s they let it go, and I think that it's leased to the Camp Moore Association, if I remember right, for so many decades. And so that it's run by all volunteers is definitely pro-Confederate. So if anybody has the opportunity to visit it, definitely take that opportunity.
Cool.
You know the date to give them for the reenactment there in November, Charles?
Yeah, the Camp Moore does an annual fundraising reenactment every year. It's always the weekend before Thanksgiving. So I said, don't know what those dates are, but just look at your calendar. It's the first week of or the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. I'm sure quite a bit went through there, Mr. Kennedy.
Matter of fact, they do have a website, the Camp Moore Cemetery and Museum. You can find them at Camp Moore. That's CampMoorela.com. That's their website. So check them out.
Cool. Would they have the numbers on there on how many soldiers went through
Probably
there?
so. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the number, but I'm sure somebody there would probably be able to help. And yeah, they definitely did.
Yep. Ready. Well, we didn't take a break tonight or anything. It's just been flowing. So I appreciate. Oh, that's cool, Mr. Kennedy. Thanks, Chuck. So please check out that website. I'll be checking it out tonight myself. That sounds interesting.
Well, we appreciate the forum. Always good to be on the chat.
Yeah, it's always a fun time, ain't it? Yeah, Moose will cover the news next Thursday. Like I said earlier, he had a family emergency, family matter to attend to. So he'll be back on next Thursday for Look Around the Confederation to talk about news and any updates going around. I am your Florida man. If you want to Google that and look at all the weird stories with the name Florida man, that should tell you. This is my first time helping out with SCV chat. Don't beat me up too much, guys.
Great job, Sean. We appreciate you hosting.
You did okay.
Oh, I know. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy, on that. With that being said, I want to thank our two guests. yeah, Army Commander Mr. Hanna and Councilman Charles. I'm going to screw up your last name. I know it.
No worries.
He's used to
it. Thanks, Carl. I appreciate that. All right. With that being said, exactly when and where. All right. With that being said, as soon as where did he? Okay. We're going to end the show with this video. I think hopefully I picked the right one. All right, gentlemen, thank you for coming on. See you guys. Look Around Florida on Tuesday nights.
Keep up the fight, man.
Exactly. We gotta honor our ancestors any which way we can. And if you guys wanted to check out David's thing, it's on Friday nights. And Michael Hardy, he does a broadcast also. That's typically on Sunday nights. So all your news and history lessons are spread out throughout the week. Ready. Hopefully I do this right.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Thank you all. Stay Southern.